Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an exciting session on preparing budding managers for post-COVID-19 challenges. We have with us Mr. Ashish Ballab, Head Corporate Recruitment and Campus Relations with HCL Technologies. He is a versatile HR professional with nearly 15 years of multi-dimensional background in operations, project management, workforce planning, transitions, and recruitment in India, USA, and UK. He is currently heading global corporate recruitments and campus hiring at HCL Technologies. His journey with HCL has been interesting in various roles and has seen multiple phases of IT industry, be it service focus, recession, product focus, disruptive innovations. He always had a need for new challenge and desire to acquire new skills. He chooses whatever keeps him motivated and excited. An expert in talent acquisition, he spearheaded campus engagements with all tiers of colleges. He is an academic design panel and a part of mentorship program at various colleges. He is an avid speaker at national forums on talent acquisition, campus engagement. Recently, he was part of a panel at FICCI Talent Conference in 2019, which is previous year, and he is also an alumni of IMT Ghaziabad with specializations in HR and operations. Thank you, Mr. Bolla, and the stage is all yours.
So thank you, Dr. Ross, thank you, team. I think it is very important to get uh, the current situation to be heard from industry, how industry is moving with, right? So that is very important. I completely agree that we should be very we should understand the situation. We should see how it is going to change, how it is impacting. It is impacting industry, so we all know. So I think that's a good topic being picked. So yeah, so and thank you, Ramin, for putting the brief background about myself. It's always exciting to interact with young minds, how they look at things. So let's move on. So yes, we know that COVID has changed a lot of things. It has changed situations for people, the way we look at things today, the way we define our necessity and essential and luxury. This has changed now, right? Let's look at simple thing. Earlier, broadband connection was not really a necessity. It was more of a bit of a, you can say, luxury. But today it has become next necessity. Sitting at home, the only way you can continue with your studies, or I can continue with work, if I have that much of network bandwidth, right? So that is where the way we look at things has changed. We all have cars for luxury, for comfort, but no benefit of cars these days because it is just we can't go out with it, right? So many things, so many perspective has changed how we look at things. The way we were used to having our fun time, going out, enjoying life, and the way we look at things today, it's very different. Today, our priority is to look at um, our safety first. That has become the priority. Let's look at the same way how organizations are impacted with this. So this is an IT company. So the core job is to provide IT service. Now, IT service or IT company, IT organization, it does not have a direct impact, right? Because we are not making a product that we sell in the open market or retail market, right? So, but the consumers that we have, or our client base is impacted. So let's look at the industries which are impacted. Let's say aviation industry. Now, any IT organization which has a major dependency towards IT aviation clients, that would have taken the hit, right? Travel industry, hospitality industry, right? Energy sector, okay? Oil and gas, leisure activities, sports, events, right? All these are impacted. Big stores, retail chains, uh, entertainment, movie making, or daily soaps, right? Anybody who is aligned with these right, is impacted. These industries are impacted, and that's how the IT organizations which have a client base with these industries, they are also impacted. It's about the indirect industry also. So let's look at travel. When we say travel, hospitality, aviation, so there is a direct industry which is like the stakeholders or the shareholders or service provider like us. But there are indirect industries like, so when we had this all flights and um, aviation, right? So when we go for a flight, so how many? Just look at how many touch points you have when you go there. So there is cab, there is toll. Cab uses petroleum, right? So it has a ripple effect on all the industries which are linked with it, right? Let's look at hotels, OYO, right? So hotel booking, the way we used to do, right? It has lot of ripple effect to all the other industry. There are suppliers. There is a supply chain for each and every industry, which gives us end product. So the complete chain is impacted. Let's look at how things are going to be post COVID. Okay. Now, one thing is going to change is that every organization, they are into revival phase, right? The first thing they want to do is revive uh, their supply chain, revive their uh, inventory, right? And even for the countries, every country want to revive the economy. So the focus of organization is to look at better ways with low cost and better churning of the money. And that is where the governments are trying cheaper loans, right? Better benefits for small industrial setups. Now the focus will be sustaining customer business. It is that level of innovation is required, and then obviously lot of scope that is building up with this, especially in health sciences. The government is investing more and more into healthcare services. More technology advancement is required. So upskilling is very important in terms of behavioral perspective also now. That adaptability to the situation is going to be very different as we were saying in earlier days. The pressure is going to be very different for all MBAs who join. Another behavioral perspective which everybody needs to build on is that level of discipline to be maintained. First thing that has to be there with each of us is discipline, that self-commitment should be there. We should not lose focus on our end goal. So the commitment to uh, your current responsibility has to be there. Another quality that employee is expected to have is to do that work life and home life balance now, because earlier we used to say work life balance, but it's home life balance now. We should stay committed that yes, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to study, this is what I'm going to deliver, this is I'm going to do self-study. Look at the perspective that maybe you can utilize this time as a lot of self-study. Interact with people from the industry. Get more and more info what is happening around, how organizations are doing. Another thing that will change is the perspective you look at the job, right? So now people who have taken a job after their graduation and then doing MBA, or somebody who has just picked up MBA immediately after graduation, you picked MBA because you wanted to invest in professional education. This is your professional education. Now, after this, you have to invest in your professional career. The investment you have not done yet. So don't expect result from the very first day after you finish your MBA. The investment will start from there into your career. First 2 years in the job after your MBA is your investment for your career. That is the time where you will shape up your career, where you will learn the key competencies which will get you good runway for your career flight.
Good evening, sir. So, thank you so much for that very insightful session. So, the first question is, what are the new skills that will be in demand for MBA graduates, and what new roles will come up in the post-COVID world?
Okay. So new skills, if I look at uh, it obviously it will change from role to role, but basic skill which will be required for everybody is analytical skills. How you analyze the situation. So say, just look at, we have clients, right? Every client is going through pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID. That will happen for every client. How we analyze that that change, the impact of this, right? Then only we can decide, okay, this solution is going to work for them, right? So that is where analytical skills is must these days. People, and then second part, which will cut across multiple job roles, is your market intelligence. You need to have yourself updated about that domain, what is happening in that domain, pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID.
Thank you, sir, for that in-depth answer. Going forward, we have Twinkle Pandita. So, Twinkle, if you could turn on your video and mic and ask your question.
So my question is, will the work from its current format temporary or here to stay? And can organization look at it as a viable option, especially with the people complaining that the boundaries between work and life has almost disappeared?
Yep. Absolutely tough question. Okay, so Twinkle, I see this in two ways. One is the uncertainties around us, right? There are a lot of uncertainties. So we don't know how things will change in next 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months. We don't know yet, right? So that is one perspective, which will impact the decisions of any organization, of any individual. And as I said, we used to say work-life balance. It looks like now home-life balance. But you rightly said the boundary. Now we can't find that boundary. Every time becomes office time, and every time become home time. We don't know what is office time, what is home time now, right? And especially with people who are staying with families, right? Be it married or single, right? The environment around us, the distractions around us, so many. So I would say every company is looking at very differently. While some companies say, yes, it's a long-term benefit and we will go for it, because obviously one clear benefit every company sees is that they will save on infrastructure cost, facility cost. The facilities are very expensive these days. And to run those facilities, ACs, guards, so many things, right? It's not easy to maintain such big facilities. So much of it has so much of expense.
Thank you so much.
I believe we are done for the question and answers, and I would like to have Dr. Jain for the closing comments. Dr. Jain.
Thank you to Ashish for being here and sharing his thoughts. So what I could gather from last few questions is I think a lot of ground has been covered in today's session of challenges and how do you look at overcoming them, both in terms of emotional and operational terms. I think one of the points that you mentioned while answering questions is when you said the impact on the emotion is much more, difficult to address than the operational aspect of it. And it's very true. We are all facing that, and it's actually, after partial resuming of activities at our campus also, it's becoming constantly a challenge to manage calmness among employees. They say, sir, aisa ho jayega, waisa ho jayega, everybody has their own share of fears. Plus there is a fear of losing out on benefits or promotion or job, because this is also your annual part-time. So I think some of the points that you have mentioned are really relevant rather to be noted as standard aspects to understand. And when nobody has predicted this kind of, nobody could ever predict this kind of a pandemic. So how do you react? You only have a limited time to react to it. I think a lot of ground covered. Thank you so much for sparing your evening and sharing your thoughts with us.
Sure. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Arvind. Thank you. Bye-bye.